Welcome to sample exams, where software testing questions get solved, step by step. Let's get started. Answer A is not correct. A line with a defect, when executed, does not have to cause a failure. For example, a line x equals y/z will cause a failure only when z equals 0. Answer B is not correct. 100% statement coverage does not guarantee 100% branch coverage. For example, a test case with x equals 0 for the code 1. If x equals 0, then 2. A, 3. And if achieves 100% statement coverage but does not cover the branch from 1 to 3, answer C is correct. 100% statement coverage means that each executable statement was executed at least once. Answer D is not correct. The removed test case may provide coverage of some statements that are not covered by either of the other two test cases, in which case the remaining two test cases together will not achieve 100% statement coverage. Answer A is not correct. The rule-oriented format includes formats like bullet point verification lists or tabulated forms of input-output mappings, explicitly showing the rules to be followed. Given when then is a scenario-oriented format because it describes a scenario to be verified. Answer B is correct. This is a given when then format, which is scenario-oriented. Answer C is not correct. There no product-oriented format of acceptance criteria. Answer D is not correct. There is no process-oriented format of acceptance criteria. Considering each of the listed benefits and drawbacks of the independence of testing, 1. Ideally, we want close collaboration between testers and developers, which is not increased by isolation. Thus, this is a disadvantage. 2. Testers and developers have varied backgrounds, technical viewpoints, and potential biases, allowing testers to usefully challenge assumptions made by stakeholders during system specification and implementation. Thus, this is an advantage. 3. The main disadvantage of independence in testing is that testers may become isolated from the development team, leading to communication problems, a lack of collaboration, and potentially an adversarial relationship, with testers being blamed for delays and bottlenecks in the release process. Thus, this is a disadvantage. 4. One of the disadvantages of independence in testing is that testers may become isolated from the development team, leading to developers feeling less accountable for quality. Thus, this is a disadvantage. 5. The primary benefit of independence in testing is that testers are more likely to identify different types of failures and defects compared to developers, due to their varied backgrounds, technical viewpoints, and potential biases, including cognitive bias. Answer A is not correct. One of the purposes of retrospectives is to identify potential process improvements, which, if put into practice, should result in the quality of future outputs of the development process, test objects, being higher. So, this is likely to occur as a result of a retrospective. Answer B is not correct. A benefit of retrospectives for testing includes increased test efficiency through process improvements. So, this is likely to occur as a result of a retrospective. Answer C is correct. Participants at retrospectives typically include testers, developers, architects, product owners, and business analysts, but end users are rarely invited or attend these meetings, and they are also unlikely to receive any reports from these meetings. So, it is very unlikely that they will learn and understand more about the development and test processes through retrospectives. Answer D is not correct. A benefit of retrospectives for testing includes improved quality of testware, including automated test scripts, through joint reviews with developers. So, This is likely to occur as a result of a retrospective. TC1 achieves the highest coverage, 4/7, REQ1, REQ3, REQ4, and REQ7, so should be executed first. REQ2, REQ5, and REQ6 are still not covered. The next test case that achieves the highest additional coverage of the remaining requirements is TC3, covering 2 out of these 3 requirements, REQ5 and REQ6. So, TC3 should be executed as the second one. Now the only requirement still not covered is REQ2, which is covered by TC4, therefore, TC4 should be executed as the third test case. So, the last test case executed will be TC2. Answer A is correct. The basic concept behind error guessing is that the tester tries to guess what errors may have been made by the developer and what defects may be in the test object based on past experience, and sometimes checklists. Answer B is not correct. Although a tester who used to be a developer may use their personal experience to help them when performing error guessing, the test technique is not based on prior knowledge of development. Answer C is not correct. Error guessing is not a usability technique for guessing how users may fail to interact with the test object. Answer D is not correct. Duplicating the development task has several flaws that make it impractical, such as the tester having equivalent skills to the developer and the time involved to perform the development. It is not error guessing. Answer A is correct. The primary benefit of independence in testing is that testers are more likely to identify different types of failures and defects compared to developers, due to their varied backgrounds, technical viewpoints, and potential biases, including cognitive bias. However, the main disadvantage of independence in testing is that testers may become isolated from the development team, leading to communication problems, a lack of collaboration, and potentially an adversarial relationship, with testers being blamed for delays and bottlenecks in the release process. Answer B is not correct. A developer's familiarity with the code does not mean that they rarely find defects in it. Instead, this familiarity means they can efficiently find many defects in their own code. And, rather than developers and testers having a shared background, developers having a different background to testers is normally cited as the reason that testers and developers find different kinds of defects. Answer C is not correct. Testing can be conducted at different levels of independence, ranging from no independence for the author to very high independence for testers from outside the organization. In most projects, multiple levels of independence are utilized, with developers performing component and component integration testing, the test team performing system and system integration testing, and business representatives performing acceptance testing. So, testers can be in the developer's team and do not need to come from outside the organization. Knowledge of the application domain will change from case to case and is not dependent on the level of independence. Answer D is not correct. Testing can be conducted at different levels of independence, ranging from no independence for the author to very high independence for testers from outside the organization, with testers from outside the developer's team generally more independent than testers from within the team. However, there is more reason to believe that testers from outside the team are likely to be more isolated from the developers and so are more likely to be blamed for delays in product release. Usability testing is in Q3, 1C, component testing is in Q1, 2A, functional testing is in Q2, 3B, reliability testing is in Q4, 4D. Answer A is not correct. Tracking test progress and identifying areas that require further attention is an example of supporting the ongoing control of testing. This is one of the purposes of test reports. Answer B is not correct. Providing information on the tests executed, their results, and any issues or defects found is an example of summarizing the test activities performed at a given test level. This is one of the purposes of test reports. Answer C is correct. Providing information about defects is the purpose of a defect report, not a test report. Answer D is not correct. Providing information on testing planned for the next period is one of the purposes of test reports. Answer A is not correct. Planning poker can estimate effort for a user story that is already written. It does not help in understanding what should be delivered. Answer B is not correct. Reviews are not a collaborative user story writing practice. Answer C is not correct. Iteration planning is a project-related practice used to plan the work, not to understand what needs to be delivered. Answer D is correct. Conversation explains how the software will be used and often allows the team to define meaningful acceptance criteria, thus obtaining a shared vision of what should be delivered. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more testing tips and exam walkthroughs. See you in the next video.